Right at 6 o'clock. I want to thank everybody for coming and attending the May 26th, 2026 City of Idaho Springs work session. We've got 4 things on the agenda. We're going to start off with business and community promotion. Sadie, welcome. It's good to have you.
Hi guys. Hi Mayor, hi Council. How's everyone? Yes, I feel you. Very tired. It was an active and full weekend for so many.
It looks like it.
Oh man, it was great. Had a lot of really positive business feedback this weekend. So that's wonderful to report. So mainly the reason I'm coming is just some updates for the summer season, what's coming, and some direction from council, mainly around fireworks. So Jeremy has made it known to me that we're not going to be approving a fireworks permit for 4th of July this year. Traditionally, what we have done in that case is move the fireworks to the Saturday after Thanksgiving. After discussing it with the Business and Community Promotion Board meeting, as well as with several others and Jeremy and all, we're not sure that even by November that we will feel like we're in a much better position to be approving a fireworks permit at that time. We explored and dove into our Zambelli contract, and if we cancel before the end of June, essentially, we won't be charged anything. So what we're hoping to do is kind of reallocate that money throughout the community promotions budget, save some of it, spend a little of it, kind of use it in some spaces where we were looking to fundraise sponsorship money that we haven't been able to really support to businesses. We're still hearing a lot from our business community that this has been really challenging and that we're seeing that tightness around gas prices. So we think we could really utilize that money really well, split a little bit between marketing, a little bit into some additional events programming, creating a kind of a fun style event for 4th of July that would be a little bit more of a daytime focus, less of a nighttime focus, to draw some traffic for the 4th of July weekend without the fireworks, as well as really exploring a Taste of Idaho Springs Fall Festival idea. That would be happening in the first weekend of October. So that's the main thing I really wanted to get your guys' guidance and thoughts and feedback on. Second thing is we've been working a lot on East End parking. We're experiencing a lot, especially after this weekend. I'm hearing a lot of feedback and some concerns around confusion around the new rate structure, how to work with it, how to get the most bang for your buck, how to make sure you know how to work it. So I'm gonna have to dive in a little bit with the parking company and Andy and Guy and kind of figure out how we might be marketing the parking rate better so that we have a better understanding. Dylan and I have been having some conversations about East End parking rates specifically. And we have been having great meetings with the business owners on the East End to get them set up with encroachment permits. So we'll be pursuing encroachment permits with Marion's, Conrad's, and Mountain View Garage. I've met with all 3 of them. They're all very grateful for the opportunity that council is willing to extend the same encroachment that we do downtown to the East End business owners to help them protect their parking that they've traditionally used. All of them have been very gracious and understanding. We're not coming across any major issues. That new signage is going to start taking into place, and I know.
So I've heard a few people on the west end of town complaining that they are in fact having bikers park in front of their house. When are we going to start implementing that part of the plan?
Yeah, the residential parking signs on the west end are part of this new parking update. So those are starting to go in. We did our parking walkthrough, so there'll be residential only parking signs.
I would just add, I have been patrolling like a shark. I can't find them. I mean, I would love it if somebody would take a picture and send it to me.
I just heard, library, but.
I mean, I have gone out of my way at side streets. This weekend, I saw one vehicle down at about 2nd or 3rd, and it had a bike rack on the back of it.
That could be the house.
And
How do you know?
Literally the whole weekend, that was all I could find.
I mean, I drive by there a couple times a week, so I've never really seen a big congestion, so I don't know. But I just thought I would ask because.
Yeah, no.
Well, and we did update and do the walkthrough, so I do think that those signs are gonna be starting to be in place in the next couple of weeks as Public Works puts in the new posts, removes some signage, and then Interstate will be signing like the new residential zones as well as the new paid parking zones that affect more of the west end of town, as well as updating the east end's site. So I really do think we're gonna start seeing those improvements on that as well. So with some of the moving pieces around 4th of July, there's really been a lot of support for creating a Taste of Idaho Springs Fall Festival. This will be similar to a music festival of the concept I pitched of having Rapid Grass downtown. That is not going to be what it is, but it will be something similar, lower lift, partnering with sleigh makers and Tommyknockers to create a street music festival as well as a Taste of Idaho Springs concept, similar to like the Wing Crawl. Hopefully raising money for some of the nonprofits in town.
What is happening with Rapid Grass?
Rapid Grass is currently in conversations with the Argo about moving Rapid Grass to the top of the Argo for August.
I noticed they were calling it a mini Rapid Grass.
Mini Rapid Grass, yes. So it would only be a Friday night and a Saturday evening concert. There will be a drone show. We moved the drone show from June 4th due to permitting and logistical funness of my brain saying, time out, let's give ourselves a little bit more time and space. There will be a place that in town you can view it from. The only place in town you'll be able to view it from, we tested the site, is the top of Water Wheel Park.
Oh,
You won't be able to see it any other place in town.
wow, really?
Because of the angle of the outpost and where the only launch zone that we can launch 500 drones from.
Are we sure, Sadie? I know he's coming up again.
We are sure. We have mapped it 3 times now.
Okay.
Because of the launch zone in which Jeremy has been very helpful with me on this, and I'm very grateful for his support. We have identified a launch zone that fire, county, it feels comfortable. Emergency access to the upper landing is still maintained. This is 500 drones that need a flat space to launch from that's within a certain number of feet from the viewing zone. So because of those factors, where we can launch from is very, very, very small and limited. So Jeremy and I have identified one launch zone that's the primary place we can launch from. To launch it from there, the only place in town that you will be able to view the drone show from, it will be at the top of Water Wheel Park.
Can we do, if we're gonna do that, can we make an announcement or let people know, like, can we facilitate people getting up there?
We can also do a live stream, which is what our goal is as well, is to be able to live stream it at several of the restaurants downtown. So we can be able to provide a live stream link as well. So the Tommyknockers back room, we can have it live streamed on the big back projector. We can do the same in Bojo's. They've done this in a few other mountain communities where the launch zone creates viewing challenges. They create a free live stream link in which you can view the whole show through a live stream. As well as obviously through the Argo partnership, Mary Jane and I are really working hard on making sure that as many people can get up to the top as physically possible, as well as making sure we're prioritizing this as a highlight of our local summer and spreading that joy of Colorado 150.
So what
is the due date? August 15th.
Yeah, I'm worried this is.
I think it's August 13th.
15th.
Very,
Drone
very,
show?
very unpopular. I can hear it now,
Why?
just because of the
15th is Rapid Grass.
lack of parking and lack of room for people.
So it's a Saturday night?
I'm looking, Mary Jane is making me question my brain right now, and I've been,
I think it's August 13th.
I've been,
Yeah,
I've
August
been
13th.
I've been managing a lot and my brain is, Mary Jane is correct. It is August 13th. So it is a weeknight, not it is
Good
not
job.
a weekend. Okay, that's
Yes,
great.
Thursday night.
Yes, Thursday
So
night.
only Thursday night though.
So the drone show will be the 13th and then Rapid Grass will probably be that Friday, Saturday following that. So creating that kind of whole weekend of events up there. I'm working through the permits right now with the Argo team. We'll be filling out a special event permit for the city. We'll be filling out a special event permit for the county. As well as Visit will be helping kind of manage and navigate this, as well as we can get these sponsored viewing locations and make sure everybody feels like seen. There will be limited number of tickets available. Obviously, the top of the Argo has an event capacity. So obviously getting up to the top. It will not be listed on the Colorado website from the 250, 150 because it is a private ticketed event. It can't be viewed by anybody. So that does kind of pull down that number of people that will come down. CTO has said that they will be doing some marketing around it, as well as the live stream was the director of Colorado State Marketing tourism, his idea.
City, do you know in the future if we have a fewer number of drones, can we launch it somewhere else?
100%, yes. If we did a smaller drone show from the top of the Argo, there would be multiple places, especially if we launched from the pad in the middle of the park. So if we launched from the pad in the middle of the park, half the amount of drones from the drone guy that we spoke to, Brightfly, he said if we launched a 250 drone show, which would be a smaller amount of animations, but still would be very cool, we could launch 250 from the pad in the middle of the park. It's far enough distance away from the gondola for the tramway board, and then the view you could see from the bottom.
Hmm.
So that's the only location that you can see from the bottom.
I'm just
and the
thinking
top.
out loud here, it really is a reason not to go with any drone show.
Well, at the Argo site, I
Yeah.
mean, we could launch drones in the future from the top of Water Wheel Park, and it would be a gorgeous view throughout town. And the top of the Argo would be able to see
Over there.
the drone show if we launched from the top of Water Wheel. So in the future, Brightfly Tom has said, we have multiple places in town that would be spectacular for a drone show in the future with more planning. Specifically, he's very interested in Water Wheel Park launching from the top where the fireworks traditionally have gone.
You get that whole almost flat area right up there.
Exactly. And he said if you launched from there, all of downtown Idaho Springs would be able to view it as well as the top of
That's
the Argo
awesome.
would. So that would be a really cool opportunity for us to look at for next year. And I do plan on pursuing that. I will say to council, just so you know, the cost of this drone show this year is due to the 250, 150 for the Colorado. Traditionally, these drone shows, even a smaller drone show, are in the like $30,000-$40,000 or more
Sure.
price range for one.
Sadie, the library at Rapid Grass every year has a book sale, and it actually is how our friends in the library make a lot of their money.
Yeah,
Is there another event that we can insert that at?
yeah, the Taste of Idaho Springs Music Fall Festival.
Okay, can you give me that date again?
Yep,
Sorry.
that's gonna be the first weekend in October. And also, Kate, I would imagine that the events programmer up at top of Argo would be very interested in you guys being able to have a booth up at the top as well. There's lots of vendor room up there.
Oh, okay, so that is still a possibility. That's awesome.
Okay.
All right, groovy.
Yeah, so Rose is the point of contact for all the marketing and events, and she's gonna be starting to reach out. They're gonna be doing some activations of vendors up there as they start to get their legs. Hosting vendors at the top of the Argo is something that's always been intended.
Like permanent vendors?
No, more like pop-ups, similar to how we've done other events, like featurettes. Like, for example, this weekend they had caricatures up there. Mike from Sketchy Faces What's Up there doing caricatures.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of opportunity for some small curated vendor opportunities for different themed weekends.
Okay, awesome, thanks.
Just to clarify with the mayor, so who's paying for the drone show? It's through that grant?
The Argo is paying for that drone show. That's a sponsored drone show by the Argo. The Argo is paying for the drone show. We're not paying for it at all.
Mary Jane, thank you. I did not know that until this was just clarified.
That's what I figured.
I thought it was.
CTO
wanted to partner with the Argo.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I see, I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
was thinking it was part of the 150, 250
Great.
state money, so, okay, I'm glad to clarify.
That's why you were thinking that it was gonna be
That's
on
why,
top of it.
yeah.
Okay.
So, and also the price point, so that CTO has offered the sponsored drone show at the price point to any public, private, nonprofit. So you could, as a private corporation, apply to get the price point for this drone show, and they will give it to you. If you're throwing an event that is around the 250, 150.
Well, and to clarify, when they first came up and said, oh, we have to do a drone show up at the Argo.
Yeah.
And that's when they did their media reception up there, so they, It
So
was their
again, the Argo is
request.
paying for, this is a private
That
Argo.
makes perfect sense.
And they're getting sponsors for that, so that's being a sponsored. It's not actually paid for at all by the city and or
although we'll
CTO.
take sponsorship.
Yeah.
I do wanna just, and I'm not sure where to insert this. We have this money that we have left over from, or that we're going to move around from fireworks. One of my concerns is that we really upped the budget for the Business and Community Promotions Board this year. If we don't have a great year, I mean, if you look-
We also kept it, just to be clarified, we kept it exactly the same. The budget for business and community promotions this year is exactly the same. The only increase to the business and community promotions budget was my salary.
which I'm okay with. I'm just wondering, like, my concern is that, the businesses are saying, well, we really need this help, we really need this help. The city may not have that next year, like,
Yeah.
that's one of my concerns. We've been able to do it, I'm happy to do it, but I want there to be reality with, this could be tough for us next year. You know, and this is gonna have to be, I mean, I feel like we do a lot to support our business.
I agree with you. And I think I talk a lot about that in the meetings, and we also understand that our budget is a flex. So part of the board's conversation is around, we're probably not gonna spend it all. You know, we're spending there's $27,000 that we have budgeted to spend on fireworks. We have no intention of spending all $27,000. Like, I think there's a lot of understanding of like, let's be fiscally responsible and maybe save some of that, so we have a little more cushion next year if we need to spend something else. I also do plan on applying for some additional CTO tourism marketing grants that will help fund in those marketing dollars. Now that we have like the foundation that we need to market the way that bigger municipalities have to market, we can apply into these tourism marketing grants that are very beneficial for small communities that will basically cost us nothing to have a marketing budget. Okay, so that speaks into kind of our marketing and engagement momentum. We've really seen a lot. Our Placer AI data is actually showing since April, May, which are the 2 months that I've paid for OTT and CTV advertising, which is streaming marketing campaigns that I've been running. We've been seeing an increase over last year in our visitor numbers. Arrivalist data is also showing that. So we are seeing kind of that traction hit in that way. This weekend especially, I think we saw a record number of people in the city this weekend.
Good.
And this is just something I saw at a restaurant. So we were sitting down for lunch, and in this restaurant, Maria's, there was a scan. It was actually advertisements of all the local businesses right around the restaurant. And I thought, this is like in between games or something like that. It'll flash for 15 minutes, it'll do a whole circuit. I was wondering if that was something that you'd be interested in looking into. I can get you more information.
Yeah, I would love, absolutely.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of cool because it was sharing kind of like everybody, and anybody could do it, I imagine.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Steve has like the TVs that run at Tommy Knockers, and they run on the Tommy Knockers channel. He and I have talked multiple times about putting like a Visit Idaho Springs run in that. Actually, Mary Jane and I and Steve were just talking before council about like a vinyl decal that goes on the back of bathroom stalls that like is kind of that co-branded kind of, for down here, visit Argo, for up at Argo, visit downtown, advertising all the businesses within the businesses.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's something we're definitely exploring as we look at those sets. We've just seen a lot of rapid growth in our targeted storytelling. It's really been great. Something we did launch that I really wanted to tell council about in a way that the businesses could buy into something that we've been doing. We authorized a social media marketing manager for Visit Idaho Springs, and he and I developed a social media co-op, which is offering social media services that are high level that a small business could not access for starting at $250 a month. We've had great response in our small businesses. This gets them high level content that they then own, and then content that's posted and collaborated through the Visit channels that's uplifting their businesses as well as spreading our reach. It's working really well. We modeled it after Colorado State Tourism's social media co-op, and we've seen great response to that as well.
3,000 a year is pretty easy. It's pretty easy as far as marketing dollars.
Well, and not only that, we're doing it in a seasonal fashion, so they don't have to commit for the whole year. They can commit per season, and then we can also look at rotating. We are maxing it out at 8 businesses per season, just to keep the lift and management easy. So we've filled those 8 spots for the summer season, and so then we'll reopen the campaign social co-op in the fall. So we'll do them seasonally, so that businesses don't have to make a whole commitment for a year if they want to just uplift their summer season, or say they really want to uplift their fall season. They can choose into that co-op from that perspective. It's a really great low lift offering for content that they would normally be paying probably $1,000 to $1,500 a month for. We had our community conversation for those that were there. Thank you for attending. It was great. In your packet, I put in the forward-facing food truck flyer that was handed up. Council, I know, wanted to hear kind of how the community felt and their sentiments around food trucks.
It's pretty positive.
We did not really hear the outcry that was on the Facebook warrior pages.
Okay.
Really what we heard were some just valid questions about how the program works. And I think the one pager that helped me create really solved and answered all those questions. I don't really felt like we had anybody throwing a big hissy fit about it. The one business that I have had complaints from, which I did re-clarify those complaints from. Again, with just some direct conversation about it and talking through like free enterprise, and these are also businesses that have their own sets of fees. They're not sit here with no overhead. They have a lot of their own maintenance costs, their own permits, their own fees. It really did seem to like lower the level of frustration. So I think overall, council has come up with a very well-managed program. I don't think that there's any need to consider changing it at this current moment. I think the food truck owners that are here feel very well supported and seen. And I do think from overwhelming support in the community, I think we heard far more positive than we heard negative.
Yeah, I thought that went real well.
Yeah. We also had Dan Fox from the Argo project there. Worth mentioning, he's the guest services director. He really spent a lot of time providing updates on traffic flow and parking management as well as visitor management. He's really wanting to hear from the community and make sure that they're a good partner. He really made that very clear that he wanted to hear any concerns or feedback from residents or business owners. So it was really great to have him there, really just answering any questions. And again, I think that overall we heard a lot of really positive conversations around the Argo as well as several business owners have been speaking out about the increase in their business from Argo traffic increasing as well.
All right, very good. Questions for City?
So
Alright.
only directional conversation. Are we feeling supportive about just not doing fireworks this year?
So I reached out to the fireworks provider, and they said they're happy to wait until November 1 to make a decision about having it in November. They can wait that long.
Thanks, guys.
So if that's an option.
My only thing about waiting till November is that doesn't really give us the opportunity to utilize that money in some other ways if we want to. Meaning just some smaller activations for 4th of July and some smaller activations for the Taste of Idaho Springs Fall Festival. Again, our intention is not to spend all of that money.
You know, just thinking for myself, we had done it in the past. It does not have the same bang for your buck. I personally would be fine with you spending some of that money and just saying no fireworks this year, and we'll look at it again next year. That's just, you know, my 2 cents. Keep some of your powder dry for maybe the fall festival you're talking about. And maybe not stress folks out working 20-hour days, right? Like we've done in the past. I know Ed's done and you've done, and Willie certainly has done that as well. So anyways, I'd like to hear from council your thoughts on this.
Need my thoughts very well.
Yeah, I agree with you
All right.
I know Jeremy's thoughts.
I don't think we should do fireworks this year, period, like.
Drones, no?
I honestly, I think we should,
Sold out.
I think we should look at drones for next year. There's no guarantee that we're not gonna deal with this next year as well.
I will say if that is a council direction, please give me that direction super early.
Yeah.
Like as soon as humanly possible.
I mean, there's no way to know.
No.
So at this point in time, it's like, how many times have we canceled the fireworks in the last 10 years?
Twice.
Okay, but how many times should we canceled the fireworks in the last 10 years? Should have been I said it.
Can't answer that question, Kate.
But my point is that.
Jeremy, can you?
I'm sending yeah, I can't give you the number, but we don't even have the conversation today.
But my point is that this would be a guarantee. And a drone show, I think, would be exciting. The first one is going to be exciting anyway, because no one's ever really seen one. So I'm up for planning for that. And at that point in time, what is the cancellation of the drone show versus, because if we get 10 feet of snow every week, let's do fireworks because we'll be melting, you know, until August. So
It's definitely worth something exploring. It's
Yeah.
definitely something I can look into
I
at
would-
Bright Fly.
I would encourage that so that you're at least prepared and you're not jumping through hoops at the last minute. But
Yeah.
that's my,
Ed, I wanted to hear, did you have something on this?
Just no drones.
Oh,
Not this
We were
year.
going in the drone direction.
okay,
but no.
okay.
No, they're all sold out this year.
All right.
For 4th of July.
Yeah, if there were, I kind of wanna know what Public Works would need to do.
No
Because
drones.
usually they'd be blocking roads off.
All right,
Yeah.
You all right?
I'm complete. I have an
Okay. All right.
understanding.
Well, thank you very much,
Thanks, guys.
Sadie. Next up is Riverside Drive update. Dylan, well,
So this is follow-up from last month's meeting when we talked about the future of Riverside Drive between the two pedestrian bridges. And since that time, the direction was to assess whether a one-way could work through that stretch while achieving one of the major goals, which is to create a separated pedestrian and bike path through that stretch. And so I'm looking for, I guess, two bits of direction. First would be long-term plan for Riverside, and then the second would be how we want to proceed, just like for this season, in the interim, because it will take some time, no matter what we decide, to get infrastructure in place. So basically, there's like four choices, I would say. One would be to just open everything back up and have it be a two-way drive. It didn't seem like council was necessarily interested in that last meeting, but that is an option. It's just to open it back up to two-way traffic. That would mean that Clear Creek Trail Greenway would still be shared road through that stretch. The other option, which I presented last time, was to just close the stretch from basically the base of the Argo cable car terminal to the Gilson East Bridge. Then the other two options would be to close, well, basically turn Riverside into a one-way with an 8-foot wide pedestrian bike lane, so you'd have 4 feet in each direction, and then a 10-foot wide drive lane. And that would work. We measured all the distances, talking with Ed, 10 feet for drive lane is satisfactory for his equipment. Talking with fire authority, it seemed like that was satisfactory for them as well. So the question for those would be westbound one way for that stretch versus eastbound. Basically, if it were westbound one way, you can access the base of the Argo and Virginia Canyon Mountain Park from either direction, but you'd have to leave on 23rd. It was eastbound, which basically it's the opposite. You have to enter on 23rd, but you'd exit from Gilson or 23rd. Because the idea is from the east pedestrian bridge or west pedestrian bridge at CRC Park west to 23rd is wide enough to still be two-lane traffic, because the Clear Creek Trail just goes from one pedestrian bridge to the other. So you can fit 2 lanes and the trail for that small bit. But once you get to the cable car terminal, you can't fit.
That's kind of confusing though. Isn't that confusing? I'm confused.
It's
And I live
definitely,
right there.
it's definitely confusing.
What if we just, cause I've been thinking about this, but what if the entrance was at 23rd and the departure was at Gilson, which I know is kind of a bummer because you're not sending anybody downtown. But you can make it easier right on Gilson, then you would be able to make a left on 23rd. And now you've got a shorter distance, a slower drive lane through the neighborhood, because presumably you'll have some cars that are waiting to make the turn, so you're not having speeding through the neighborhood. And then they would be able to exit to the left or to the right at Gilson. And then just have the whole thing one way.
That would essentially just make a eastbound one way.
An eastbound one way, so the entrance would be over 23rd, exit at Gilson.
Turning left off of Gilson is a nightmare as a local,
It
not
is.
knowing what's
Yeah, I
going
know it
on,
is.
let alone
We would
putting
need it, we would need a
tourists there.
You're
layer.
gonna have to have
You have to
traffic
put a
stuff
light
there,
there. You
yeah.
have to put
It doesn't matter
something
where
there.
you're gonna do it, you're gonna have to put traffic stuff.
That
Because
should,
coming through the park, people race through the park. So you have a less of a chance of getting out on a curve than you do on a straightaway. But I mean, just that whole area down on the west side of, east side of town. I mean, we knew it when Colorado was being proposed, that was gonna be a difficult area.
regardless of what we do, we'll have to put a light on Gilson. Like, I've been thinking about that, like, there's just no way, like Gilson. I would rather try to make a left out of 23rd than make a left out of Gilson.
You know, we really had an exhaustive traffic study done on this.
But before it was already, before the bike park was there and before the gondola was firmly in place. So it was from
Mary
2020.
Jane, didn't you pay for this?
Yeah, we did.
I thought so.
And it was done after the approvals of both the bike park was under construction and the gondola was approved.
But it's still
That's why
six,
we did the traffic study.
it's still 6 years old. And I honestly, I just don't think that it's going, if we're expecting 400 to 600,000 visitors a year, I don't understand how that traffic study is pertinent any longer. And again, I told you, couldn't read it, couldn't bring it up to read it large.
Oh, I'm
It was
sorry.
done on 500,000 people per year.
Yeah, I know.
And
Just
it
FYI.
mostly, not to dig too deep into the traffic study, but most of the study anticipated using the 23rd Avenue entrance and.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Entrance on Gilson. The other thing I will note is,
What's that?
it's important to note, we don't necessarily have to make, I think, because as I mentioned in the rest of the report, there's some signage needs and some infrastructure needs to create the separated path. This summer is likely to have an interim condition either way, which
Right.
could create a good opportunity to kind of get more data for a long-term
I'll
decision.
give you a great example is what the real numbers are. Because to Kate's point, if it ended up being 650, then we need to take another look at this. But similarly, if this was done at 500, if it's 350, then not so much, you know what I mean? It would give us an opportunity to get better numbers.
Right, well, and the other difficult variable that I can't really account for and probably no one can is future phases and things like that. Because the planned development for the Argo and Mountain Park also includes a variety of other things that could eventually be implemented, which could then change the equation again.
What is closing the road in front of the Argo actually mean? And how long would the Argo be able to utilize that space before they own that space? In a kind of a reverse land acquisition?
Can
Can
I
you do
answer
that?
that? The road is still a city road, Kate,
Right?
and it's.
That's what I kind of wanted to remain.
Yeah,
and
it's always a city road. And we
we're-
just
we're not
recommended,
gonna
we
give
just
that
did the 23rd Street study because the citizens on Gilson didn't want
I-
Argo traffic coming.
I
through there.
100% get that, but that's the tragedy is that so Sunnyside gets the traffic, one of the more visible historic neighborhoods that you can see from I-70, you can see it when you're driving by, is going to be the one that gets the brunt of it. And no offense to that side of town, but those are all 1970s buildings where we're talking about 150-year-old homes, or not 150, but 120-year-old homes that are going to be impacted. Those kids are gonna be impacted on Sunnyside, or they're gonna be impacted on Gilson. Or they're gonna be impacted both places. And for me, I'm always like, what's gonna benefit the majority or what is going to impact the majority? It can't be one or the other for the impact, but that's how I feel, and I'm pretty strong on that point, I think you guys know that. I'm gonna probably die on this hill, so. Nice night, everybody.
And I will, the last thing to note is when the traffic study was done and when things were getting approved previously, there wasn't a plan to close the road at all. Like it was always thought, or at least it was never talked about of future changes to Riverside, other than eventually we'd like to have a separated bike and pedestrian route. So traffic study and the plan development and development plan all called for it to just eventually open back up and be a two-lane road, but with messaging that pushes people around to 23rd. So that could be
And maybe it has to
well.
happen, my big concern and why I'm kind of like leaning towards that one way. And I'm not kind of one ways, by the way, I think it confuses situations, is that I'm worried about the bikes on that road with two-way traffic, it's like. You got people bombing down the mountain, you know, I mean, we already know that they're bombing over the bridges, not really recognizing that there's pedestrians there, and there's not a whole lot we can do unless we're gonna, you know, patrol it on the bridges. So I'm a little concerned about that, I don't know, Jeremy might have more insight than I do.
Yeah, Jeremy, your
Just send all
thoughts?
the bikers up past your
My
house.
suggestion was run a one-way going to the west,
You like the West better?
just because I live down there.
And I,
I think MJ can attest to being down there, because your daughter's down there also, so she's drove up. People are, you limit their ability to accelerate down Riverside before they enter that neighborhood.
that's a good idea, that's,
So if they turn in Gilson and can only go one way towards the Argo, then there's a stop sign and a stop sign, they can't accelerate by those kids.
Okay, and that
That's the
sounds,
scariest thing about that.
yeah, oh,
neighborhood.
absolutely, they're right on the street. No, I mean, and that sounds reasonable. What I was
That was my
thinking,
suggestion, was one way going to the west. So people can turn right on Gilson,
right, easy
make a
squeeze.
left, go through the neighborhood, they're not doing 80, they're doing 35.
So then I have a question for you, because that, what I think might happen, and again, we don't know what the numbers are, but they roll up to 23rd to
23rd
leave.
is always gonna be an issue, because I agree with you, 23rd is an issue,
That's not,
because of the curve and it's.
but not even that, but I'm actually, what I'm gonna say is, those drivers that don't wanna wait, they're gonna use Riverside, they're gonna use Virginia, and they're gonna use Wall. So if we're gonna do this, do we reverse, that'd be a nightmare, I'm just thinking that out loud. I was thinking, do we reverse it so that they can't in fact enter the neighborhood? But then you have everybody
Are you finding
exiting.
agreement that I think all those streets in our neighborhood should be one way?
I was going to
They
say it
do.
out loud, but I don't,
They all should be one way.
but which way is,
Literally, Riverside,
Come on,
Virginia,
Wall.
and Wall Street should be one way,
but
going
not,
to 23rd, because it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to get an ambulance through there. It's a nightmare to get a fire truck through there. It's a nightmare to walk through there without dodging cars. But I've argued for that for years and lost every bit of that battle, so.
I know, I would still have to park the wrong way, but
But if everybody's parked the same way, the same direction, it's probably, I don't know. To be honest with you, you know where it's out.
I know, it's
I'd
just
probably
where I'm
do the
weird
direct-
hill. I can figure it out, I have another truck, so I'm sure.
Well, I
Jane,
will-
your thoughts?
Well, everything's both ways,
Let's do
you know?
I would just say,
You're
if,
in a very unique, like,
if we were doing one way, I agree with Jeremy on the west. That just,
okay,
if it.
that's not a
They
hill I'll die on,
leave
I will
for
negotiate with you
23rd.
guys on that.
I'm
Is
sorry?
that right? They
You would
don't-
have,
they-
in that scenario, you would have to exit via 23rd, or theoretically, I guess, you could drive through the roads and then go out on Placer.
I think that's gonna cause some
Yeah.
neighborhooding.
Certainly, now that in the report, they're not very good pictures, but you can add a lot of signage and things and like really be like, don't go this way, but people still, like, unless there's spike strips or something. people
I like
can't go
that.
where-
Spike strips are not a bad idea.
Okay.
Sharon, any thoughts on this, other than the spike strips, maybe not? being
I like it by
politically
my
correct?
house sometimes. I live up on Sixth in Colorado and the crazies that like what they do to avoid traffic and how fast they drive on
Virginia.
Virginia, it is insane.
And that's
they'll like
skinny.
fly up
Yeah.
Sixth and oh my God, it's like so narrow. It's insane. And I don't want that. I mean, it's unfortunately a lot of the, when people come here, they don't necessarily care about our little neighborhoods and our kids and our people walking dogs or just taking a walk down the road. And I'm really
Yeah.
nervous
When-
about that, with
when
those 3 roads.
You know,
being
when I see
readily
that get
available up
bad
23rd.
is when I-70 backs up,
Mhm.
and then everybody tries to use Idaho Springs as the I-70 bypass.
Mhm.
Um,
And then when Colorado backs up, they'll cross over double yellow lanes, drive half a block on the wrong side of the road, turn up Sixth Avenue and fly up the street. My teenager stands out in the middle of the yard and yells at people to slow down. He gets
Well,
so
and,
mad.
you know, we
because
did have
he
one
knows.
individual, I think, pull a car out and just block.
Mhm.
Well, that was in my neighborhood.
Yeah, that was up on Seventh. Yeah.
So,
it's
uh,
been a
And
couple
on
different places.
12.
I believe that your street did it too.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I like
Lisa,
the
your
idea
thoughts?
of westbound. I don't care which way, like, I like the idea of one way. And the reason why is for a long time, I've heard from people, like when I lived on Wall Street too, was that they walk their dogs and the kids and everything. I like the idea of one way with a dedicated bike walk lane. That has barriers and protects our walkers and, because people walk through there, lots of people walk.
Which way did you always think it should,
I don't care
Go
which
out.
way it goes, as long as it's one way. Look at your neighbors, the little kids.
I know, I worry about
That's
them
a
all the
perfect
time.
example of somebody getting run over at the intersection of 23rd and Wall, which I watched all.
I know,
Because they're both riding bikes on it. This kind of
I
thing.
know, it's scary, and those girls are adventurers.
Oh, yeah, they come ripping around the corner and, oh, the parents will be behind them eventually.
I
Oh, they're
know.
catching up. And it's
They
fun.
think it's 1972 where they live.
Which is fair, right?
It is fair.
I'd like to ask staff, any thoughts?
Jeremy, the one thing that comes to my mind, if you have one way, one direction or the other on Riverside, in an emergency, you might be facing oncoming traffic. whether you're trying
You
to
get
get
to
in
go
or get
anywhere you
out.
want, don't you?
Yeah, but I
It's
think
like a
it's,
skill
I
set
think
is
if it's,
closed.
I think if it's changed for us as far as, I don't mind one ways as far as we change response plan and say we always go this direction. It makes it a lot cleaner. When we start doing, if you walk anywhere in town, that we've got parking, two-way traffic on streets that aren't wide enough for it. It's either just wide enough for a fire truck or it's not. Most times it's not. And it's really weird. And then areas that are one way, for some reason, people figure out how to park. It's amazing. I don't understand. And if it kind of cleaned itself up. I don't know how
Yeah.
it works, but
I guess it's Virginia Riverside that would take the brunt of that because they'd have to work that out amongst themselves.
yeah, but I don't think there's really not a negative whether you come from Virginia Canyon side or either direction. Your street will be the only way to
It's
figure out
already one way.
which way do you want to go, up the hill or down the hill, right? That's,
The only reason I don't think that you
you
can go
have a hill on both
up
directions.
the hill from the west is because the natural thing would you'd have to park on the right-hand side so that you could exit your car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so walking away the direction from a one-way
Yeah.
perspective. Because either way, the corner of 19th is, the corner of 19th has always been.
Right. I mean, and Wall Street, you
But
have
it's
to be able to
manageable.
like
It's-
push the
we
snow off
manage it
the
all the
river
time.
and
It's
again.
something going on Wall Street up here. The same way, the same corner issue up here.
So if you did Wall from the west, that's where everybody gets out of their car. So you're gonna narrow the street anyway, because people are gonna park into the street more. So you have to keep Wall to the west, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then what if Virginia went that way, because then you go,
The run of Virginia going to the east would make sense.
and you could serpentine
Come
Riverside
back
to
into
the west.
Yeah. You come back to 23rd that way.
Mhm.
I just think one way is clean up a lot of the traffic issues that we have. And you don't really experience it driving, you do experience it walking in town. After about the 40th car you've dodged, because now you've got two-way traffic on a one-way, once you do a one-way street, and you're looking for room between parked cars to not get run over.
It's also
It kind of changes your outlook on town, at least in my opinion,
Mhm.
it has over the last.
My street is like
decade
that,
or
the 10th is like that, we have parking on both sides of the street, there's just enough room to get one vehicle.
so. Yeah, and Sue's saving grace behind you, she's always had a driveway and a garage. That's makes it work, and then everybody else has the same problem, so. I think this goes beyond just this end of town, I think this is
It's
a
everywhere, yeah.
conversation for the majority of town of
It,
how do we make it safer?
I agree.
it seems like to me that we probably should talk about this further. Particularly since I know Dylan could use some direction on, what to do about the rest of this year. So,
I can see it as let's see what happens at the end of the summer. And reevaluate.
Keeping
Can't-
Riverside
can't I-
closed, like
I
as it is now.
don't think we'd have better numbers.
I think we'll look at numbers. We'll see how the flow through the neighborhoods goes. I think it's not a bad idea. Now, what I would ask are they gonna be able to go to the Argo from both sides?
Well, currently, because there's still construction stuff, getting,
We're getting close.
They're getting close.
like, it's currently still closed, so everyone is accessing the point. I think the direction would be leave it closed or open it up completely and monitor.
My question is,
it.
can they get there from Gilson now?
Currently, well, you'd have to park in the neighborhood and walk. So no,
Okay,
you
there is,
you can't drive through right now because it's blocked with.
I was just thinking it would be nice to know how many,
There's, and maybe
People
that's the
go through
solution, is we open it up both ways. Once they're done with construction, and we figure out how many cars go through there to have a better idea of.
like do a weekend, which this weekend and this weekend,
Can
on
we
one of
get
those.
like, I'm sorry.
The thing on the street that they.
Yeah, like, can we get a temporary speed bump or the temporary plateau thing or whatever to try to like slow down the rate of traffic
Well, that's
instead of
what-
people
we kinda
going
talked
900
about
miles?
that.
Or has that become a launching pad for the
No,
bikes?
those were, the ones that were put on Minor Street were very effective. I don't know how they are for plowing. I'm not looking at it.
I'm just thinking for the summer, if we can.
They worked on Wall.
Yeah,
We had
Yeah,
the
they do.
temporary ones. They worked on
Yeah,
it
they
for our
did.
stuff.
yeah, I'd love to see your temporary one get replaced with a permanent one, it's easier to plow, but that's.
I know. And we
I
actually,
think that works to slow people down. I think they're hugely effective. Don't impact public works. I think those in a lot of these places where people are literally doing 40 miles an hour on a street that should be 15. It solves a lot of the problem even, Soda Creek.
So-
Hot Springs.
Would everybody be
Yeah.
all right for maintaining the status quo for the rest of the summer, seeing how our numbers stack up and revisiting this and talking more about what we should try?
And I would like, if we do, I would propose that we get a couple of the temporary, just try to slow it down, because as people are gonna fly down that, and if we can just try to put a safety, what am I trying to say? Safety
Yeah.
measure into place just for the next few months too, while we're getting it, but just to kind of
Are
maintain
you,
some
are you talking at the
safety.
bridge?
I'm talking like down Riverside, like going towards
Oh, I think
Gilson,
Chuck was
going
talking about
east.
leaving Riverside closed.
Oh, leaving it closed? I thought you were saying
No,
to
just the,
leave it
the
open.
status quo, for the rest of the summer.
To close it for the rest of the summer. Okay. I
Just,
thought you-
just leave it exactly how everything is for the rest of the summer until we get better numbers.
Can we please make it so that people can walk though? We're gonna leave Riverside closed. Make it so that things are cleared so people can walk.
They're just about almost finished with that.
They're
I think
like,
Craig has got a
the
whole.
last couple of things they have to do is down there, so.
Yeah.
They're almost done with construction, which will.
And I suppose that will mean for, all of our neighbors will have to have some patience this summer if it remains. The access is 23rd, but it will give very good numbers on if that ends up being the ultimate, thing, how bad.
Oh, I'll let you
That is
know.
23rd.
February.
Well, and I
Well,
also,
maybe-
I placed a placer.
You think I'm being this nice?
I placed a
Because I'm nice.
placer geofence around
Yeah.
that whole little
Right.
intersection. So we should be able to see entry and exit points
Cool.
through that geofence off the placer.
Yeah, and I just wanna say, like, the signage, like, the proposed signage does like look good, and that will help. I mean, I literally saw somebody go up, go to turn on wall, saw that it was residential only, and then turn around,
Oh,
like,
good.
so it's like people do.
Good people do.
Hey,
Some
I
people.
mean, but like, I think with the amount of signs that are proposed here that make it really clear residential this, like, I think that's a factor
It does look good.
to if all of the signage goes up, so just.
I mean, but it might be not a bad idea to put speed bumps through the neighborhood in case we do have people. I mean, I think Ed, you've got 2 on Wall, but the rest of the neighborhoods could probably use something now that we're not gonna get snow and there's no need for plowing.
Yeah.
Just to slow it down, even if they are coming through.
All right,
And just
so,
one thing, the Argo is required to put wayfinding signs up in specific locations. And we're working on that.
We appreciate that. Thank you, Mary Jane.
all right, everybody okay to, move on to the next item? All right, and, Dylan, you'll be coming up here in just another minute, I think.
I'll just stay here.
Financial update,
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Just wanted to give council an update on our cash flow, which has been tight recently. We have been meeting regularly as staff with Lorraine and the mayor to monitor things particularly closely. We knew this was going to be a challenging year with transitioning into some finish up some projects and also going into what we anticipate will be some increased revenues this year. So as a monthly financial reports to council have shown, the improvement fund and water fund have been impacted more than expected by significantly increased costs related to capital projects. Grants connected to these projects are on a reimbursement basis, as we've talked about. And that means the city has to first pay the invoice. Then we have to wait until there's a copy of the deposited check. Wait till that's available, that can take several weeks. Then submit the reimbursement request and then wait for the payment to be processed and issued. And that can take 4 to 6 weeks. So that's why it's a cash flow issue, is that we've had a number of big projects, we've had a number of big grants, which has been great. But we have to pay the bills up front and then get reimbursed at least for part of those expenses. So that's been the challenge. So the situation is to the point where, we've drawn down fund balances that was planned with like our improvement fund with the police station project and some other projects we've had, and the water fund. We've gotten a lot done, but we do need to take some action to make sure we can maintain our cash flow at this time. So I've listed here in the bullets here, the actions that are are recommended and that we are taking. You already know that we are postponing the Chicago Creek water line replacement project to 2027. We have $1 million grant for that. That's a critical project. We need to get it done. We tried to find a way to get it done earlier, but we want to be prudent about this, and we just think it'd be best if we wait until 27. Any potential property acquisitions are being postponed, so we're not going to do that at this time. Staff are coordinating with a consultant for the Mobility Hub design project regarding the timing of payments as we are nearing completion of that design project. It's fully funded, which is great, but again, we have to pay the bills and then get reimbursed. Same thing with the police station project, very important project. We're near the end of that project as well. It's partially funded by a grant, but same issue there. We have to just be careful on the timing of the payments and reimbursements there. Council previously approved a paving overlay project on Virginia Street. Talked to Ed about that. We're going to postpone that till later this summer as funding allows. And then any other projects and expenditures, and of course, talked with the department heads about this, any size that can be delayed will be postponed as may be necessary. So we're just being very cautious and careful during this next several months. And we'll continue to monitor it. Lorraine will be providing a more in-depth mid-year financial update. Something we've always done and has been requested. So we'll take a look at the first half of 26, and then we'll take a look ahead to as we kick off the budget process for 27. And then also the city's auditor is finalizing the financial audit for 24, and the auditor and Lorraine will be providing will be presenting the audit report to council at a work session before the deadline to the state of July 31st, 26. So that will be coming up in a work session in the next month or so.
Andy, very important rosy spot. We, after this, have a paid for police station. Most communities cannot say that. This is a $3 million police station that the citizens are getting for $2 million because we got $1 million grant. We're going to own it. So we're not taking on massive amount of debt like most communities would have done. So I'm saying that, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. It's a pretty bright spot.
How's that police station only gonna be $3 million when our bathroom was $360,000?
Kate, you said it best. I think you and Doug constructed a home.
Well, not a
Right,
bullet
right.
protected one, but for $150 a square foot. Yeah, it's absurd.
It's
It's not gonna be a good year for building, for sure.
Mr. Houston is running into $800 a square foot for the daycare at Carlson on an existing building, which ironically is about what we're running into with the police station. Although the police station is a lot heavier modification.
Of course, it's heavy duty, so yeah.
So, no, I'm with you. Questions for staff?
Yes, do we anticipate that these things will be reimbursed, and by the time of the audit, this will look a little less dire as far as cash flow?
By the time the 24 audit is presented? Is that what you're asking? I don't know. No, I mean, the 24, the audit for 2024 will be just focused, of course, on 2024. It certainly would be covered in the 25 audit. Should be that, start that next year. Is it the 25 audit?
Just
I'm sorry, the 25 audit, excuse me. The 26 audit, yes. Yeah. So, but no, to answer your question, this would not be, you have the audit presentation for 2025, thank you. And then we'll have the mid-year financial update by.
That's more what I
Lorraine.
meant. Do
Yeah.
you anticipate that this is going to be a little less dire by mid-year?
I think we'll have a much better idea, yes.
We're hoping.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We'll have a couple months with some of the changes with, the new, the occupancy of some of the apartments and with the Argo being up and running, some of the changes that are happening.
I think probably a lot of councils aware of this, June, July and August. The city brings in about $1.75 million between, sales taxes off the chart. This is when we're really making bank right now. And, so there are months it's much, much quieter, you know, when the parking lot is, you know, 80% empty. And June, July and August are not, we're making up for lost time right now.
Of course, you always have that 2-month lag.
Yeah, right. So we won't actually, yeah,
Right.
we won't have bragging rights
So we
until,
could be going
October,
gangbusters, and then there's a
right.
little bit of delay, you know, when we get when we reap the benefits of that.
exactly.
Was this past weekend busy? Here?
Oh, I thought it was really good, yeah.
Cause it was nothing on the wet, all the way up to
We were on the
the.
western slope and
It
it
was
was.
nothing.
So you hate to put you on the spot, but.
We had a record breaking weekend in
Good.
Idaho Springs.
Good, cause other places were empty.
Yeah.
Midsummer numbers.
Midsummer
Good.
numbers, yeah, it was, I
I
mean,
think they're not
every,
driving as far.
every,
That's good to know.
every business, that's it.
it.
Yeah, we are, like, as I've told you guys, like, we are
Close it out.
we are the solution, you know, it's just about like managing that and being in that sustainable, making sure we're, you know, respecting our residents, but we really are the solution to this problem, and so I do think like the work we're doing is paying off.
Good, well, I'm
Hey,
glad that
good
you guys,
question.
I'm glad you guys had a good weekend. So that, what I'm thinking is like, if this is good this weekend, kind of like a nice little shiny beam that we can.
Exactly. Any further questions for, Steph? I'd like to move back to Dylan. Hey, let's talk about electric mobility.
Sure, so we were approached by a consulting firm, Interior Group, recently. They've been working with the Clear Creek Economic Development Corporation. And they said, hey, we identified this planning grant program, the Community Accelerated Mobility Project, that works on electrification projects and mobility projects. And so they said, okay, there's 2 rounds. The first is a $75,000 planning phase, which for tonight, that's what we're talking about, and whether we should move forward with the grant application. They said we were basically writing the application for you because we're already contracted with the CCEDC to do it. So, so that's great. And if we were awarded that, then basically this grant would be to put together like feasibility and limitations and opportunities and things like that around a community-focused mobility program that's electric. And so our thought. And then if you get that and then you can go move forward, there's a $1 million grant in the fall and then a couple of rounds that have a 5% match. So it would be up to $1 million, maximum match 50,000.
And I just want to touch on that for 1 second. Pretty rare that you get a 95% paid
It's a
grant,
small
Right.
match.
a 5%, yeah.
And so our thought is, you know, we've been talking about this kind of circulator shuttle system for a while. It was in the
Yes.
2021 downtown plan. It was discussed in the 2017 comprehensive plan. There was some ULI TAP sort of things that touched on that as well. And so this seems like a perfect opportunity to investigate the feasibility of actually implementing that with an electrified shuttle service that can hit the west end, it can hit downtown, it hits the east end, circulates, you know, investigate how it could be valuable for visitors and locals, you know, stop at optimized places. You know, what sort of infrastructure needs do we have? What are our long-term operating costs? How do we fund that, et cetera? So that would be the goal of this first phase. And then once we have all that, we'll apply for implementation. So I guess the request for direction is, are we authorized to apply for this grant, noting that there will likely be a maximum match for this planning stage of $3,750?
Sharon, what do you think?
I think it's a great idea to have this going through the town and not huge buses, 12 to 15
Not
seats.
stinky buses either.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
safety buses, electric, so there's not mess with any environment and get people around. I think it's great.
Jeremy?
That's good, go for the planning grant and see who comes out of it.
All right. Janine? Kate?
Sure.
And Lisa?
Oh my God, yes. Can we also like, if we end up with a planning grant, can we look at working on how do we like help residents maybe use golf carts, because I like the idea, like I worry about the roundabout, maybe having challenges. This may be a way for us to help our residents at least get around town.
And I'm a big golf cart guy. And
Chuck has a 6-seater that he's ready to roll out.
8-seater.
Excuse me, pardon me, he's ready to roll out tomorrow.
I am, yes.
And I do already have 3 letters of support. I
Oh, good.
should probably get another 3 or 4 or more potentially, so.
We'll probably get one from the PGA.
That's true. So, all right.
All right, so you good? Okay, all right. Well, by some coincidence, it's exactly 7 o'clock. Everybody, let's take a comfort break and we'll meet back about 5.
Hi, friend. I got all your sign-ups, but I'll put out the email on your. Yeah, I'm just gonna, you might wanna, might read it published on that.
You kind of like that.
We had a plan.
And nobody else gets through one here.
So I'll send an email.
You really bothered me today?
So yeah, I just sent an invite.
I had a 22-hour day on Thursday. And I
That's horrible.
Yeah. That was the beginning. 22 hours. It started at 1:30 in the morning.
So they asked.
Just spent the weekend,
On the river, they'll look kind of like the whole state.
Actually, it really was.
Great attitude.
I know. They have a flat. Sharon. They were so friendly. They were so nice and friendly. And I was like,
I know, I have to go back to the.
I worked all week.
I know, it's so good to see you.
I don't know.
Why?
Thank you.
Been out there.
So right now, it's
She shared, hi, how are you?
Sorry, I missed, I got a call.
And then they signed my yard.
Yeah, we were all from all the orange. I mean, we had every business I spoke to found record.
Oh, I didn't know she had it.
I had it, like, I had it completely, I felt like we were on 4th of July, to be honest, I was like, I had it. So many people. It was interesting. It didn't feel overstuffed. It was crying, man.
They driverless cars. And we got it in here.
I probably should have the agenda. Yeah, I wasn't. I waited. And I just was looking for it. This is getting worse.
Everything takes work.
And I found. Well, I had multiple vendors that were like.
That's just something.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
It did help. It did help.
Yes.
But I mean, it's, you know, yeah. That's where they're gonna be. We're trying to figure out where they sort of want to. They want to put it on.
Well, that's good.
But that's like five.
I knew it was bad.
And the race is at town. Yeah.
You know what we can do, everybody on here?
Yeah, thanks, John.
We're ready.
Right now.
Hey, girly.
Hey, how are you?
Well, everybody, please come on in.
I don't like her.
It's here.
No, I'm not down with that, so, yeah. No. Hey, Ed. Oh,
What's your bucket? Is that just a little bit of hold up for me?
His dad was my favorite teacher. And my teacher.
Well, I would like to welcome everybody to the regular council meeting for the 26th of May, 2026. And we'll call it to order at 7:06. I'd like to start off with roll call, please.
Janine Mariani here. Kate Collier here. Lisa Manifold.
Here.
Sharon Basis.
She's here.
Mayor Pro Tem Jeremy Jones. Mayor Chuck Harmon.
Here. All please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Is she gonna make it?
Next time.
She gonna make it?
Oh, she's in the.
No. We have an agenda before us. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve the agenda for Tuesday, May 26th, 2026.
Thank you, Janine. And do I have a second? Second from Jeremy. Any discussion of the agenda? I was just asking if there was any discussion of the agenda.
No.
Mayor.
Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand and signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Does anyone tonight feel to have a conflict of interest? All right, then we'll move on to approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of May 11th, 2026.
Thank you, Jeremy. And do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Lisa. And any discussion of the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand and signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We have bills before us tonight. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve the bills through May 26, 2026.
Thank you, Kate. And do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second from Jeremy. And any discussion of the bills?
This time.
Hearing none, roll call, please.
Sharon Basis. Yes. Janine Mariani.
Yes.
Lisa Manifold.
Yes.
Kate Collier.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Jeremy Jones.
Yes.
Mayor Chuck Harmon.
Yes. Dylan, do you know, Dylan's not in here.
Is that
Oh.
lucky? What is that lucky?
All right, do we have anybody signed up for public comment on the sheet?
We do not.
All right. Steve, would you mind doing me a favor and just asking Dylan to?
I got
I'm not. No, I'm sorry, I just need to confirm that we don't have anybody online for public comment.
Doesn't look like it.
All right. All right, well, thank you. That will conclude public comment.
Sorry, aren't you here for public comment?
She's,
Oh,
the
she's
committee
coming up.
reports.
She's coming up.
Oh, okay, sorry. I saw the public comment form with her.
Actually, we very seldom have this, but we do have under committee report, mayors and commissioners youth award program donation request. Tracy, please come on up. I'd like to hear what you have to say.
All right. Mayor Harmon, council and staff, thank you this evening. I am here once again to thank you for always being a continuous support of the Mayor's and Commissioners Youth Award. The $2,000 that is donated has gone towards the laptops this year and the 360 1-year subscription. Just a little bit about the Mayor's and Commissioners Youth Award. It is for children between the ages of 13 and 19 who have overcome personal adversity and created a positive change in the community and in their lives. The youth who receive this award must be nominated and exhibit the criteria within the nomination form. We had 7 youth this year. We had 3 from Georgetown, 1 from Empire, 1 from Floyd Hill, and 2 from Idaho Springs. We did things a little bit different this year. We always struggle, or we have in the past struggled to schedule the dinner in May around theater and graduation and state sports and such. So we did push it up this year. We ended up having the dinner. They do get a $500 scholarship card that can be awarded towards like a club sport, tech school, what else? Oh, driver's ed and such. Along with that, they get earbuds, like I mentioned, the laptops, 1-year subscription to Microsoft Office, and a $20 gift card and a beautiful dinner for them and their family to enjoy. So I guess I'll open it up for questions. Again, you guys have always been a great support each year, and thank you again. And that's what I have.
Well, Tracy, thank you. I am going to open it up to council. Any questions for Tracy?
Yeah.
I think all of us are proud to offer help for very worthy youths. And that's been going on for many years.
Yeah, almost 30 years now.
30 years. Wow, thank you for that clarification. I wasn't aware it'd been going on that 30.
So it started down in Denver, and there were 7 different counties that were involved, and each got to nominate 3. And then the mayors and commissioners in the city and county of Denver put it on. And then it got to be too much for them. And so then they've been able to spread it out and have allowed each individual county to take it on upon themselves. And we have, I believe, almost 20 years in just within our county. But the program has been approximately a 30-year program.
Well, that's outstanding. Thank you very much. I would say council looks very favorably on this. And I appreciate you coming in and giving up your time tonight.
Yes, thank you. Have a great
Thank you,
evening.
Tracy.
Thanks, Tracy.
All right, next up, I'd ask council to put on their liquor licensing hat. And we're going to talk about a modification of premises hearing, Idaho Springs Liquor Authority. It's going to be item number 12A for May 26, 2026. This is a public hearing before the Idaho Springs Liquor Licensing Authority on an application for a modification of premises for the existing license at Motherlode Brewing LLC, DBA Tommyknocker Brewery, and pub located at 1401 Minor Street. The city council serves as the local liquor licensing authority. This is a public hearing. Witnesses will be sworn in before offering testimony. While strict rules of evidence do not apply to this hearing, I do have the authority as the chair of this hearing to limit testimony or evidence that is irrelevant, repetitive, or cumulative. The order of the public hearing will be as follows. The deputy city clerk will present her report and findings. The police chief and any city staff may present their recommendations. The applicant may present evidence and testimony. Any party in interest may present evidence and testimony. And under state and local law, party in interest includes an adult resident of the city, an owner or business manager of a business located in the city, a representative of a school located within 500 feet of the licensed location, and a representative of an organized neighborhood group within the city. The applicant may then present any rebuttal evidence in response to any testimony given. Throughout this process, the authority may ask questions. After all the evidence and testimony has been received, I'll close the public hearing. The authority will begin its deliberation and will make a decision by motion and roll call vote. I will open the hearing. It is now 7:15 p.m. And I open the public hearing on an application for modification of premises for Tommy Knocker Brewery and Pub located at 1401 Minor Street. I invite the deputy city clerk to give her presentation to the authority.
Good evening, authority. Nice to see you. My report is in the packet for your review. I will highlight some highlights. So the application was published in the Clear Creek Current on May 14th. It's Exhibit A in your packet, and was posted on premises at 1401 Minor Street on May 11th, 2026. The possession by the licensee of the changed premise by property lease agreement, and this property is is located in the historic district, which is permitted to serve alcoholic beverages. I'm here for any further questions or clarification if there are any.
All right. Any questions for Wonder?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, next I'll move over to Chief of Police. Chief, any recommendations?
I have no comment. I would recommend it.
All right.
Really, I mean,
All right, thank you. Any further city staff? All right, hearing none, I will move to the applicant to present evidence and testimony. Steve, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you just state your name and address for the record, please?
Stephen James Andreas, 377 Dumont Lane, Dumont, Colorado.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Excellent, thank you. Thank you.
So, do you want me to explain the scenario? We're operating as a depot for the Argo project. And what is convenient is a lot of the same delivery trucks are going both locations. So one of the advantages, these trucks won't be driving around town as much, but some of the products have alcohol in it, beer and wine. So the distributors can pull behind Tommy Knockers, which they already come to. We can receive the product, put it in their depot location, which is secured by fencing and video cameras. And then when they need it, they can come get it, bring it up the Argo. Short story.
All right. Any questions for the applicant? All right. Well, Steve, that was pretty short and sweet. I appreciate it. Let me ask, I want to make sure we don't have a party in interest, either here in the audience or online. Dylan, you don't have anybody, do you? Nope. Okay. All right, fine. And then, Steve, I'll give you an opportunity, any final words or thoughts regarding this?
I just think it's a good development of a partnership for Tommy Knockers and that project, and hopefully it helps community a little bit by keep the truck traffic down a little bit.
All right. And before I close the hearing, I just want to make sure that no one has anything further for the good of the order. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll now close the hearing at 7:18 p.m. Counselors, may have your deliberations. Any discussion?
I don't see an issue with this, not at all.
All right, thank you. Then we will do a roll call vote. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the Tommy Knocker Sillies, the public hearing modification of premises Motherlode Brewing LLC, DBA Tommy Knocker Brewery and Pub.
Thank you, Sharon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Lisa. One last time, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Janine Mariani.
Yes.
Kate Collier.
Yes.
Lisa Manifold.
Yes.
Sharon Bassist.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Jeremy Jones.
Yes.
Mayor Chuck Harmon.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. We do not have our finance officer with us tonight. We've got a resolution, number 12. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve resolution number 12, series 2026, resolution adopting an amended city parking plan.
Thank you, Jeremy. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Kate. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Kate Collier.
Yes.
Lisa Manifold.
Yes.
Sharon Bassist.
Yes.
Janine Mariani.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Jeremy Jones. Mayor Chuck Harmon.
Yes. We do not have any ordinance first readings, or second readings. Next up is, city attorney, welcome. Anything for our regular session for us tonight?
No, Mayor. Nice to see everyone. Wish I could have made it in person, and we'll be talking during our executive session.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you. City Administrator, Andy, we have your report, no request for action. Want to check in, make sure you didn't have anything further for us?
Nothing further, thank you.
All right,
I do have a question. for
yeah,
you.
sure, absolutely.
So I'm looking, sorry, my computer died, so I'm looking at this. You and Cameron went to the GoCo $750,000 grant application. Is that just for the Shelley Quinn Park?
It is.
So there's no, like, and is that money all taken up by the Shelley Quinn Park if we should get it?
It is.
Like, no hope or anything else?
It's just dedicated to that particular
Okay.
project. Now, there are a couple application cycles each year for GoCo and CPW, so we're gonna keep trying to get funding for our other parks.
Did we do any change, did we do any changes on CRC this weekend? Did something happen? Cause I was out of town this weekend and somebody said, oh, they're putting a slide in. I was like, what?
I do think Ed has an update.
Oh, okay.
Shelley Quinn.
At CRC Park, I saw in your report, you found a company that might repair a slide.
During the, what can we do about the park? We brought up plastic welding, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna work, but Willie found a place that actually does it professionally. So we took a couple of slides down there to see how it would go. And the holes are gone and it's smooth and you can slide down them. And they
Okay.
said that it should last about a year.
Very good, Ed.
So in the interim, it looks like the kids have something safe to play on.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you very much for that update. All right.
Right,
And,
and it was
Save the cheap.
$500 for both of them.
wow, what a deal. All right. Thank you. Any further questions for Andy before we move on? All right, next up, Guy, we have your report. Just wanted to check in, make sure you didn't have anything further.
Nothing further, thank
All
you.
right. Dylan, anything for us tonight?
Nothing for me tonight.
All right, thank you, sir. And wonder, anything further that you'd like to share?
Oh, Mayor, thank you.
Okay. All right. Chief, another very interesting report. Never a dull moment. Anything you'd like to share tonight?
No, I don't think so, Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And then Ed, back to you. Thank you for your report. I see you don't have any requests for action. Appreciate the update on the slide. It'll be nice to get those back in commission.
Right. Other than that, I mean, we're still working on it. There's lots of different factors that go into this playground thing.
Yeah,
I
Oh my God,
really
yes.
wasn't expecting it to be this
sure.
Involved?
involved.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh, But there's a couple of different ways that we're I'm working on that to get it done.
All right.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and, Ed, I apologize if this did not fall on you. But the pedestrian bridge that you and I know by the old Taco Bell building that I guess we're calling the glass shop building, it was gonna have signage that we're asking the bike riders to dismount. Do you know if we got those?
I thought that there already was signs. that
Well,
said
and let
to
me
do
tell
that.
you, I don't, somebody could have maybe taken them, but I walked over to the Argo, just a couple days ago, and I did not see,
I haven't seen it yet.
yeah, a sign, so.
Okay,
And the reason why I was apologizing in advance, I wasn't sure if, Combo was doing us a favor or if that was something that we had ordered.
I haven't done anything. I thought it was already there.
Okay,
I can do something.
okay,
I like doing things.
all right, thank you. Did you have anything further for us tonight?
I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay, all right, well, thank you very much. Hey, Mayor and Council, I did not get this to you last meeting. Carmen did a favor and she's got a really good city administrator performance review. Last meeting, I saw that she had borrowed this from Edgewater and it still had Edgewater on a couple of places, even though it does say Idaho Springs City Administrator. So what I have done since last meeting, I have whited out Edgewater, and I've also taken away the 2025 evaluation because it immediately dates it, and there's really no reason for that. So what I have done is I've made one for everybody. I'll pass 3 down your way. And Janine, 2 your way. So please understand that I am in no way complaining. I just want to recognize that the form that we had used was only filled out by the mayor. And this is not uncommon because it is often difficult to evaluate by committee. You know, our employees are reviewed by one person. And what you can run into with review by committee is just opinions. Maybe I think, for example, Andy has good communication skills, maybe somebody else disagrees. So you can run the risk of sending conflicting evaluation. So this is what I would like to do. Andy is going from a progressive evaluation. I'm going to compile it once a year, but I don't like problems festering all year. We take them on and we discuss them in private as we would any administrative matter. And we address them on the spot. I will compile them into an annual review. And council, this is where you come in if you would like. You can turn those in to me. You can put them in my box. You can hand them to me directly. You could drop them by my house. I'm fine any way you want to go. But I want you to know, you absolutely do not have to fill that out. That is up to you. If you would like to defer to my evaluation, you may. However, I do not want to shortchange anyone. If you would like to discuss certain topics, that's going to be added to the final report. Andy said that he welcomes anything positive or negative. And so it will be placed in his personnel file once a year. And I just want you to know that we actually had a number of evaluation forms to review, including the one that Idaho Springs has. But Janine had provided one, Carmen had provided a couple. I felt that this was probably the most descriptive, and if you look on every page, there's room for comments. So I felt it may lend itself to council adding some things. And of course, there's a rating system, which is clearly described on the first page. So again, feel free if you would like to, or if you would rather stay out of it. I fully respect that, but whatever anybody would like to share is going to be included. Are there any questions for me? Hearing none, before we move into executive session, I would just like to ask, does anybody have anything further? Janine?
Yeah, just a quick housing authority update. So we're about a month and a half into our new executive director and probably running the best we've ever run.
Yeah.
During this time, we got a letter. It's funny, it has my name on it. Getting $2.5 million, which is cool.
What?
But it's not for us really. It's for the Lakeview Flats development, which is affordable housing going in Georgetown, and we're kind of the partner entity. It does have my name on it, so I'll take it. So we did get awarded money from the state. Well, we, in partnership with this developer, to build units on that open kind of space right now next to the already existing development in Georgetown that will be for sale affordable units.
Well, you know, that's exciting because really any affordable unit
Yeah.
in Empire or Georgetown, I think we all agree, in the county it helps Idaho Springs too.
Yeah, it does.
And the housing authority is benefiting because we are gonna contract with the developer to do some like work for it, so like qualify buyers, home buyer education, do that kind of work. And that's how the housing authority makes money outside of the municipal contributions, by providing services. So we're gonna provide services for the development. I think we also get a very small percentage of something. I don't remember. So yeah, but anyway, partnerships like this are what helps make the housing authority sustainable on its own. So this is like the first
Congratulations.
project.
This is fantastic.
That
It's
is-
really big.
That is wonderful.
Very
Congrats.
excited, so.
You bet.
I also think your choice of housing director is excellent. Like, that was a really good choice by the board.
She's great because she's just had to do so much non-housing stuff, just simple things like her email doesn't work, our payroll doesn't work, like just the bare minimum of still like getting an organization established, and she's just jumped in and been excellent. So I very much appreciate her.
All right, well, that is hard to top. Anybody have anything further?
I do, even though it is hard to talk.
Sure.
I just want to give a shout out to both Dylan and Wonder. We had our monthly Historic Preservation Review Commission meeting. We actually had some things going on. We haven't for a couple of months, but they did a lot of work to get things ready for that. And I really appreciate that because I know it's digging through our statutes, you know, and seeing what are the exact things that we can and cannot do. Even if Wonder won't do the video that I asked for, but
I didn't refuse, I just said I'm not comfortable.
But I just wanted to give them a public thank you because I really appreciate it. Because it's our job easier on HPRC.
All right, excellent. Glad to hear that. I would ask that anyone who is interested in filling out the performance review, please get it back to me within 2 weeks.
Okay.
That way I can compile it and it will be shared with everyone. But that will be given to you in 4 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
And we do not discuss these matters publicly, but they will be provided to you.
Is there any other announcements we need tonight?
No.
Okay.
I also would just like to state for the record that we're about ready to go into executive session, and we're only coming out of executive session and we'll be adjourning regular session upon exiting the executive session. Andy?
Mayor, did you want to speak to the vacancy on council?
Oh, I am
That's where
sorry.
That's where I was headed.
Because everybody, Lisa, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And so just in case you did not know, Jimmy has resigned. And, you know, his physical condition just is not going to allow him to continue. So I thought it was a class thing to do. We are going to send those who applied for the vacancy recently, in the case of Sharon taking the vacancy, to those who were interested recently to join. And it's going to be published as is normally the case. But I know all of you would agree with this. We really had a very good crowd apply. We hope for that kind of quality, quality applicants next time. So we will not be council 6 months longer. And thank you, Liddy, for that reminder.
Sure.
I guess I had assumed too much.
Well, and I think staff just wanted to make sure that before we did the advertisement and publication about this vacancy, that we were clear on the direction.
Exactly. And wonder if I could put you on the spot, could you just give kind of a ballpark timeframe when something, how many more weeks before it's probably comes out in the paper?
It's gonna be posted in the current on May 28th and again on June 4th.
Oh, great, okay.
So hopefully we have a good set of hopeful appointees, maybe for end of June or beginning of July.
All right, thank you for your help, appreciate it.
And there is a deadline, right? Did we put deadline in? Okay, the deadline is the Wednesday before the second regular meeting in June. Does that all sound
I
right?
think you're right.
Okay, and I'm gonna get you that date. Do you have that?
I'm gonna.
Okay,
All right,
so we'll give you the date, but
Okay.
we did put a deadline in, we
17th.
added a
Oh,
little
okay.
more time, you know, to make sure the word got out. And then it's will be for consideration of council action at that second meeting in June.
all right, very good. Lisa, thank you for trying to keep me within the guardrails.
Well, I was trying to do it without like giving anything away if we weren't supposed to.
Hey,
Thank you.
I would like a motion for us to go into executive session.
I'll move that we move from regular meeting into executive session.
Thank you, Lisa. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I'll second.
Mayor, I need Lisa to say the whole
Oh.
agenda item as written for the executive session.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I apologize. I'll make a motion to move into executive session under CRS section 24-6-402, parentheses 4, parentheses B, confer with the city attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice and information concerning potential November ballot issues.
Thank you, Lisa. And Kate, are you seconding that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor, please raise your right hand and signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Aye.
All right. Thank you.
Nick, I'm gonna switch over to the executive session now.
All right, I'll be switching over.